The state of Utah has spent $86 million from the federal government to help battle COVID-19 so far. That money is given to state agencies as they need it. Jim Spiewak dug into the expenses and learned some new information about how the state has been battling COVID.
Heidi, all of that spending gets approved by the team here at this office building. And when we started looking through it, it's for, the things that you would normally expect, the wipes and the face masks. But once we really started to dig down into the numbers line by line, there were some things in there that the state bought that got us asking some questions. $86 million spent to help battle this pandemic.
It was very frantic. It was one of those times where it is the world looking for the needle in the haystack.
Utah's Division of Purchasing Director Chris Hughes says the plan was always to publicly post how every dollar has been spent, but that process was sped up after it came to light no bid contracts were awarded to Silicon Slopes for testing and tracking.
I think it came as a part of a result of you as the press wanting to know what had happened so far.
The KUTV investigative team sat down and crunched the numbers, looking at each expense individually. More than $44 million went to masks, hand sanitizer, and other protective gear. But we were surprised to see more money go to getting supplies to Utah, about $5.8 million, than what's been spent on testing materials. Were we overcharged for shipping?
Were we overcharged? Yes, but I think that just comes in line with what was going on in the world at that time.
To be cautious, the Department of Corrections had to spend $12,000 on new juice and milk after an inmate tested positive. And the medical examiner's office spent almost $98,000 on a refrigerator unit for body storage, extra body bags, and PPE.
There was no getting to the front of the line just because you knew somebody in power.
And remember way back when COVID was first hitting the news, you might remember the Grand Princess cruise ship. Utah had 35 residents on board that ship, and the federal government asked the state to help get those residents home. Just over $8,000 was spent to use a state airplane to get them back to the U.S.
Everybody was in this together. And I had comments that it was every state for themselves.
Hughes says Utah has 2 to 3 months worth of supply, but expects more money will be needed, something his office will continue to keep tabs on. So again, looking through all of the numbers, one of the most unique things that we saw was purchased during the pandemic by the state are these pool noodles, just like this one right here. And what they would do is at the public golf courses, they would cut it off right at the top. They would put that in the golf hole so that the ball would rest right there on the top and people wouldn't have to continue to go down and pick up their ball out of that golf hole. So a few bucks was spent on literally these pool noodles. If you would like to see a line-by-line expenditure, we've put a link on exactly where to find that over on our website, KUTV.com. Reporting in Taylorsville tonight, Jim Spiewak, 2 News. Back to you.